You wake up, check your watch, and you see a bright green 90% recover. But as you swing your legs out of bed, you feel heavy. Your brain is foggy, your joints are stiff, and the thought of your scheduled workouts feels like a mountain you can't climb. We have invested in smartwatch to help us train smarter, but often the data seems to be hallucinating. Is the device broken? Not necessarily. Today we are moving past the marketing and looking at the clinical reality. I'm going to break down the two scientific reasons why your recovery is often green when you feel low energy, and how you can use this knowledge to actually prevent overtraining and injury. Reason 1. The most important thing to understand is that recovery is a multi-dimensional state. Your watch is only looking through one very narrow keyhole, the autonomic nervous system. Most devices calculate recovery using heart rate variability. This is an amazing metric for measuring the balance between your sympathetic and parasympathetic systems, which is the fight or flight and rest and digest. But the nervous system is just one piece of the puzzle. Here is what the device is missing: muscle fatigue. Your HRV might be perfectly balanced, but your muscle fiber is still repairing those microscopic tears from a heavy session 2 days ago. Your tendons and ligaments, which have a much slower recovery rate than your heart, might still be under significant structural stress. The watch can't see a localized inflammatory response in your Achilles or your quads. Besides fatigue, there's also metabolic depletion. After a long endurance effort, your nervous system can stabilize overnight. However, your fuel tank, which is your intramuscular glycogen storage, can take 48 to 72 hours to fully replenish. The next thing is also cognitive and psychological load. For those of you working in high pressure careers or managing family stress, mental fatigue is real. High cognitive load drains the same prefrontal cortex resources we use for physical willpower. Your heart might be ready, but your brain is running low in energy. The reason 2 is the measurement captures the night, but not the cumulative state. This is perhaps the biggest blind spot in smartwatch. A recovery score is usually a snapshot of last night's sleep architecture. It tells you how well you transition into a parasympathetic state during those specific 8 hours. However, training adaptations and overtraining is a cumulative process. You could be 10 days into a very hard training block, carrying massive systemic fatigue. If you happen to have one incredibly high quality night of sleep, cool room, dark, long durations, your HRV will likely spike. The app sees these restorations and says you are recovered, but that one night hasn't erased the 10 days of accumulated load. Conversely, if you are perfectly recovered but had one poor night's sleep because of a noisy neighbor or an early flight, your score will be bad. Your actual physical capacity is high, but your snapshot is low. So instead of looking at the daily score in isolations, try to look at the 7 days or 14-day rolling average. If your daily score is green but your 7-day trend is trending downward, you're in a state of cumulative fatigue. That trend is a much more accurate predictor of performance and injury risk than any morning report. So, having a smartwatch is a tool and a powerful way to monitor the autonomic nervous system, but it doesn't have a sensor for your muscle tissues, your fuel restores, or your mental resilience. When you see a mismatch, don't ignore it. It's not that the device is wrong, it's just only telling you one part of the story. To be a better runner without hurting yourself, follow this rule. Check the pattern across weeks instead of the day itself. Always cross-reference the data with your joints and muscles feelings. When the data and body disagree, the body is usually the one telling the truth. Use the tech to find the patterns, but also use your intuitions to make the final call on the training. If you found it helpful, hit the like, subscribe buttons and let me know in comments. Does your recovery score usually match your gut feeling? Or do you find yourself in a recovery gap often?